Hi everyone. Today I was looking around my house and thinking, what do I have a lot of that I can make something out of to keep myself busy because it's raining again. And I noticed that we have a lot of paper towel rolls and our toilet paper rolls or cardboard tubes, whatever you call them. So I thought that we would use those today to make this really cute little Minion pen or pencil holder. It's very simple. Now, the one thing about today's activity is it works well when you're using paper towel rolls or toilet paper rolls to use the liquid glue, but it can get messy. So I'm sure you could probably use a glue stick or tape as well, but I am going to use liquid glue for one of the parts of the activity today. All right, so the first thing you need is to find a little piece of cardboard that can be your base that you're going to end up gluing your little minions to. And then you need to select the size of the tube that you want. So I'm using these little short guys here. So I'll be using this tube. I can save this one for later. Okay, now to get started, you will need glue and the yellow paper. All you're doing is rolling the paper around the tube, and then we'll trim it to the correct size when we're done. This is the part that I use liquid glue for because it's a little bit stronger, but you do need to be more patient with it and hold it a little bit tighter to let it dry a little bit. So I'm going to start by putting a little bit of liquid glue on the edge of my yellow paper and then put it around my tube. The one thing about liquid glue is it works better if you spread it out, so you can use a paintbrush or a Q-tip. I just use my finger. And I'm just going to roll it. Roll the paper right around the tube until I get to the part where it's going to be covered all the way. And then I will stop and hold it there and try to make sure that glue is really sticking to all the parts of the tube. This is where you have to have a little bit of patience, and you might need to wait a couple seconds. So once you've given it time to stick to the tube and you think you can keep going now where it won't fall off, the part that you don't need, you're just going to trim off with the scissors, making sure that the tube is covered all the way but doesn't have a lot of extra. And then maybe give it a little more glue under that seam that'll hold it down, or you could even use a glue stick there, that'll work. Now, the paper is a little bit longer than the tube. I will show you how to take care of that part that's a little bit long on the edge. It's not very difficult. You take a little bit of glue and you're just going to put it right around on the inside of the tube, okay? Not on the paper, but on the inside of the tube if you can. Just a little teeny bit. Now that's the secret with this glue, is you really don't need a lot. And then I'm going to just snip the paper into little mini rectangles, stopping at the edge of the tube. If you can see, I'm just making little clips there. And then we'll fold them down inside the tube, and they will be hidden. So once it looks like this, kind of like a lion's mane, I'm going to fold that right back down inside the tube onto the glue that you just put in there. Once that is all stuck down nice and tight on that side and you've given it a minute or so to dry, you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, once you have both sides secured to the inside of the tube and they've had a minute to dry so that they'll stick down, you are ready to begin making the little outfit that the Minions make, the little overall pants. So with your glue paper, the easiest way to do this is to cut them into, cut your paper into some rectangles. Now here you can see the length of it. You want to leave enough space on the top so that you can do his little face here. So you're going to be making his little outfit start about halfway up the tube. So we're going to cut one little blue rectangle. I'll start by just cutting this cutting off one here. And I always use it, the paper before I actually glue it to test it. Now I can see that that's too big. So I just need to make a little bit of an adjustment. I need to make it shorter and thinner. Then I'll check it again, see if it fits. I think that'll look great, so I'm going to glue that on. This is where it'll probably be easy enough to use the glue stick, putting glue on this paper. Okay, I'm just going to stick this down. I'm going to have his pants, his little overalls, start down at the bottom because I am trying to leave enough room up here for a face. Okay, so now we're going to make the strip that goes around. It's just a little skinny rectangle that kind of starts at one part of his outfit and goes around to the other side of his outfit. So it's just a long strip of paper, skinny. And you can see we need one for the top and one for the bottom. But I'll start with the top, putting a little bit of glue and gluing it all the way around and then matching up over here. Okay, and you can see that this has extra. I don't need this part, so I'll just clip it off. Okay, once you have the top one done, you're just doing the same thing for the bottom. A little strip, glue it on, and match up the sides. This one, I'm going to make a little bit skinnier. You want to try to make the strips match in width so you don't have a really large one and then a skinny one. So just make this a little bit skinnier. Okay, now we have both parts of the overalls done. Okay, and if I look right here, I can see they have a little circle sort of on the top of their overalls. I'm just using a black marker and I'm just going to put that little circle in the middle. And it has a little dot just there, like that. Now you get creative with your face. So I'm going to make this guy with one eye. All you need is white paper and glue, and a pen or a marker would be just fine. So I have a piece of scrap here. I'm just going to put on one little eye circle here. Glue that on. Very simple. Okay, so I have this little eye here. Put a little bit of glue right in the middle for his eye. Now you might want to, once you're at this part, you may want to use a pencil to kind of draw what kind of face or what you want the eye to look like or the glasses to look like. So that way if you do make a mistake, you didn't make it with a big fat marker or a dark line pen, okay? So with this guy, I'm going to just make him have his little eyeball right in the middle. Just using a regular black pen. And then I'm going to make his glasses just like his buddies over there. And all you do is put the black marker around the outside of his eye, and then you put the little black strap around. Okay, so he has his glasses and the strap goes all the way around, and then I'm just going to give him a little smile mouth. Make him look a little bit silly. Just like that. And then if you want it to be a little bit darker, you can go over it with a marker to match it. And then after that, when you're all done with your creation and you're ready to kind of put it on the little board, here's the trick with this. This is where you come back to the liquid glue. And this is where you have to be very patient. So you're going to put liquid glue on the bottom and then set him on there, and then he's going to have to sit on here and dry for a little while before you can actually move this around or start putting things in there. Because if you move it too soon, the glue won't be dry and then it'll just fall apart. So you just put a little bit on the bottom, stick him on, and then you let him hang out for a while and dry. And you have your pen and pencil holder all ready to go. Enjoy!